Hello! In today's video we are gonna continue working on this pedal right here. This is a karaoke ship multi-effect thingamajig that hopefully you saw the first video and you already know all about it. And in the end of that video I said that I will eventually put in two controls here that lets me switch this thing around without using the control. Because if you see here, by moving this I can change the number. But it's blinking, and when it stops blinking it will jump back to where it was. And that's a perfectly fine function, but I want to not use this knob, or at least not maybe always. So we're gonna make a control switch, and that control switch will switch the number up one and press it down in one go. Now before we begin, I just quickly want to apologize for not making a video in such a long time. And yes, we will continue now. I'm not going to delve into all those weird adventures I've been on, but I did slay a dragon. So, just, you gotta brag a little bit, I think. But anyway, with that out of the way, yes, let's continue working on this pedal here right now. But before we begin, we have to talk a little bit about switches, because we're going to use something that is a little bit different than what we've used in a long time on this channel. Here is a regular true bypass switch, the one we use in all of our guitar buildings so far. And if you've been subscribed for a while, you recognize them when you look at them. This might look like the exactly same thing that I'm holding and that I didn't switch anything out, but it's actually a completely different kind of switch. Here they are together, and it might be super hard to see. There is a little bit of a size difference. Maybe you can tell, maybe you can't. This one, the regular one, works in a different way than this one. And this is a momentary, which means it will just clip really once and then jump back. I'll show you on the whiteboard. It's actually really important that you understand this. You can use both for what we're gonna do, but the reason why we're using the momentary one is because we want to press one time and jump one step. If you use a regular, you will have to press twice in order to jump once. That will be a little bit weird and wonky. It will still work, so if you're just looking to get something that works and you don't care about it being super perfect, then you can use a regular switch for what we're building today. But if you want it to be pressing down once and jumping up one step in the effect list, or pressing once and going down in the effect loops one step, because we're going to have to use one switch for each, going up or going down. You can obviously have just one that goes up, but then you would have to loop around in order to get to the number you want to get to. So I want to have two switches, and I'm going to show you how to wire up both. Okay, so the back of a switch looks like this. And on a regular switch, the middle row is always connected to one of these. And by pressing it down, you jump up and down. So for example, in a true bypass, we have a switch that goes between here, and we can either select the effect up here or the down road here where it goes bypassed. These rows are separated, so it's basically three switches in one enclosure. So you could basically have three different things that all get triggered by one press. In a momentary switch, it's a little bit different. It's always connected to one row, and then when you press it down, it gets pushed up there, and then when you let go, it gets pushed back down. I hope that makes sense, but basically, the middle row is always connected to one, and you press, let go. You press, let go. And it's always connected down to the other one. I hope that makes sense. It's super important that you keep track of this to make this work, and that's one of the reasons why. If you look at the switch, and it might be a little bit difficult to see, but you can see it has a notch. And it only has that notch on one side. If I turn it around, you see the notch is only on one side. And that's to help you indicate what side is actually down. Now, a regular switch like these also has that. But when we build a pedal, it's not really that important. It is important when you're building other things that we're not going to go into. But it is, however, important in this one, because we're going to mount this so that this little notch that you can see right there is facing down. And when I built this pedal, I built it so that this pedal had its notch facing down as well. So all three notches will be facing down. And the reason why is because when we press this pedal down, we want the upper row to be momentarily connected. And that's because that's where we're going to connect the wires. So when we let go, the lower row will be connected again, because there is, as I just showed you on the whiteboard, there is one row that is always connected to the middle row, and when pressing we only get the other one. If you mount it the other way around, you will potentially run into a problem in how the pedal feels like it's working. And so yes, I can't really explain it, I'm sorry, because it's about how it feels to step on the pedal. But trust me, it still will work, but it won't work in the way that you might want it to work. So you're gonna do it the way that I'm showing you. It's just a small thing that you have to keep track on, and it's just that notch. Make sure that notch there is facing down to this side of the pedal enclosure. So have the notch on this side and not on this side up here, basically. And that's it. With that out of the way, let's jump into wiring this up. It's gonna be super easy, and yeah, hopefully you're gonna like it. Okay, so here's the inside of the pedal right now. Yeah, you remember this from the last time we made anything on this pedal. And the only thing is these. It's hard to see, but maybe you can see that the notch is on this side, the way I think you should have it, or the way you should have it in order for this to work. You can see the notch here, but I mounted these a little bit closer, and that's because I don't actually want to press something else. I feel like I'll be able to come in with my foot and press all three when that's what I want to press. Anyway, if we take a look here on the circuit, this is where our switch is, and it's most likely a little bit hard to see, and I'm sorry for that. But these two up here are the connection for the selection going through, basically the press down of the button. And down here we have the selection of the 3 legs, like a regular pot. And so what we need to do is we need to attach some wires. Now I've done a couple of double wires like this. It's just 2 wires sorted together. And we're going to connect one of these up here, like so, and one of these up here, like so. So now, from the 2 connections up here, we have 4 wires coming off. This is going to get a little bit confusing, maybe, and I'm sorry if that's the case, but we're going to start with these 2 wires, and we're going to pull these down here, and we're going to take one of these wires, it doesn't matter which one, but one of them is going to get connected over here to the middle row's top leg. We bring in a little bit of solder, and we connect the wire to the leg, like so. And the other one will be connected to this switch and be connected to the middle row. So basically, same wire going to the same place, just different legs or different pots. Then we have 2 other wires here that are coming from this switch, and we're basically going to do the same thing with these, but one wire is getting connected over here to the middle row, like this, and this one is getting connected to this one's middle row, like so. And now we can push these wires out of the way so that we are exposed to these legs here. So we're done with this part right here. I hope that was super easy for you to see. If you have any questions, don't forget you can talk to me in the comments below or on Instagram if you're making this and you want to send me pictures. The middle leg, and this is going to be a little bit fiddly, both for me to film and for you to see. But in the middle leg, we're going to connect another one of these little jumpers with 2 legs. And again, it's just 2 wires that I've basically put together into a sort of V cable. And one of them is going to get pulled all the way over here and be connected to the middle row, like so. And the other one is going to be pulled over here and be connected to this one's middle row, like so. Next thing we have to do is we have to decide which switch is the up and which switch is down. So if we take a look here on the front of the pedal, this one I feel like will be the up, because I feel like going that direction is going up and going that direction is going down. So this switch is the down for me, and this switch is the going up for me. You don't have to do it the same way that I'm doing, but you might as well. I don't know. So we attach one wire, this leg right here, like so, and one wire to this leg right here, like so. And now, depending on which leg you want to be, which one, that leg is the forward leg, and that one is the back leg. And it's kind of conveniently going in this direction naturally because of the way the pedal works. So this one gets connected to this row's upper leg. So we just put a little bit of solder on here and it's attached. And this one gets attached to this one's upper row right here, like so. If we just take a look at this so that because I understand that a bunch of wires might be confusing. So basically when you press the button, the on-modded button and not the foot switches, a signal between these two is connected and that lets the pedal know that you've done a selection. That's why you can't just solder them together, because there needs to be a signal sent, not a constant signal. So that's why you need wires from this to the button. The momentary switch works so that when you press it down, these two will be connected, basically cutting away from this one. That's the reason why we need to have the switch oriented the right way, because these two rows are always connected, but then you press it and momentarily these two rows are connected, sending a signal, just like the way the kit works. That's why you have to have two cables going from the middle here as well, so that the signal can be sent between these two legs, because it works the same way. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you're gonna have to talk to me in the comments below and I'll try to word it in a different way. But we can now plug this in and turn it around, and if we move this, you can see how we can select things like so, but we can also do this. And hopefully you can see how by pressing once, I can just jump up one step and it's also selecting it. And I think having this as an option is a great idea, because you can move really fast. If you're working on maybe making a song and you have this close at hand and not on like a pedal board or something, then you can just be like, oh, I'm recording a guitar on number 6, and then I'm gonna overdub it with a guitar on, let's say, 48, and you can just scroll to 48 and press it down. But maybe you're playing live and you're like, oh, I'm on 48 and I just need to jump to 49. You just press that. So I hope this helps. Okay, well, here it is and everything works. It's obviously not plugged in right now, so, but you saw. Hopefully you didn't skip to the end. Anyway, I hope this helped. I hope you try this out and that it works for you. If you make this mod and it's not turning out the way you want, then you can talk to me in the comments below, is what I'm trying to say. Or you can send me pictures over at Instagram and I can say, hey, that wire there is not going to the right place. Always use different colored wires for different things so that you know what you're doing and that you can follow wires easily, because when you have a rat nest of wires, it can get confusing. I recently saw a video of another YouTuber who is doing similar things that I'm doing, modding things and repairing things and stuff like that. A channel that is a lot bigger than mine, and he said in his video that only pros use same colored wires, and that using different colored wires for different things is more of a beginner noob thing. And I just, because I feel a little bit of a responsibility to say that no, that's not true. You should always use different colors and make it as easy for yourself and anyone else to follow along. Don't always listen to what people tell you online. That means me included. If you think that something I'm doing is wrong and that you need to do it in a way that works better for yourself, do that. But don't think that making it easy for yourself and using different colors is a noob thing. Now, I don't know if this YouTuber was serious or if that was some sort of joke. So I don't want to put anything into it, but if you watch a video and someone is saying like, just use black wire for everything, it's just noobs who needs color coding. That's not true. Anyone can get confused and mistake a wire that is going from one thing to another thing for being something else than what it is, because everything has the same color. We can all get sidetracked and blinded by wire colors. Don't listen to that. And getting into the habit of pre-soldering and to pre-tin wires and connecting everything proper and using color coding and things like that, making sure that every ground, for example, is black and that every power wire is red and things like that is just, it's better to learn from the beginning to do things correctly, I feel like. So do that. And I promise you, you will have a better time fixing mistakes and things like that. We all do mistakes. It doesn't matter how good you are at things, you will do mistakes. Eventually something goes wrong. You haven't had enough coffee and you wire something in a stupid way, and then you're like, how could I do this mistake? I've been building things for 10 years and I'm still making this. It doesn't matter. So don't take that negativity with you to the soldering iron, because you'll burn yourself. And yes, that was a bad joke, but it's true. But anyway, I hope this helps. I hope you that this is a mod that you need. It's a mod I think that I'm gonna need. I think I probably will use the switches more than the rotary control thing. But anyway, until next time, stay awesome and cool. And also don't forget to press like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, all that, you know. Thanks so much for watching. Stay awesome and cool, and go and do this mod. It's super awesome and cool, and yeah, you're gonna like it. So yeah, talk to me in the comments below if you want to. Bye bye. I don't know how to end this video.